Hi, I'm Tori. Today I'm going to be talking about a private tour that we did in Nassau, Bahamas. So first of all, let me welcome you to my channel. I'm really glad that you're here. And I'm going to explain a little bit about how we ended up on this private tour. So we had actually booked an excursion to go for a swim with the dolphins. And this is when we were on our cruise on the Carnival Glory. And we got there and found that we were not going to be able to go on the tour. And the reason for that is because both of us have walkers. If you watched my other video, you would know that we had both been having some health issues, and I am about to have back surgery. And so we had both taken walkers with us on this particular cruise, something that we hope not to do in the future. But this particular cruise, we did have them, and when they saw that we had walkers, they would not let us go on the dolphin tour. So they did, of course, refund our money back for that excursion. And so we were very disappointed, of course, because we were not able to go on the swimming with the dolphins. So we were trying to figure out what to do. So we were basically just walking around port and, looking at the shops, and there were several different people there and advertising different things or talking about the services they provided. And this one lady seemed to have a really great personality, and we started talking with her, and she was telling us that she could take us on a private tour of Nassau. And so, of course, we asked a lot of questions. We, of course, wanted to know how much it would cost, if it really was a private tour, if it would just be the two of us, if the transportation was air conditioned, if she would be showing us, the main sites that we wanted to see. And she answered all of our questions. And as I said, she had a wonderful personality and seemed very knowledgeable about the area. And so we decided to go ahead and do the private tour. It was $350 for approximately a 3.5-hour private tour, just the two of us in an air-conditioned van. And so we felt like that was a reasonable price. And so we did embark on the tour. And so I'm going to tell you what we saw on their tour and what we thought about it, and if we would recommend it to you or to other people. So first of all, she took us to the government buildings, and we were kind of surprised because instead of being kind of traditional architecture like we're used to here in the United States, they were, one of them, for example, was pink. So it was, they were more brightly colored, contemporary, fit in, of course, with the island architecture. And so we were a little surprised at that. I guess we think of government buildings as just kind of being very serious looking with traditional architecture. That was not the case. She also took us to a hospital there, and she told us a story about how Anna Nicole Smith had her daughter there. Now, I have not looked into that. I haven't Googled it, so I don't know if that's true or not, but it was a very interesting story anyway. And so we did the tour of those buildings. And then after that, she took us to the rum cake factory. And the rum cake factory was very interesting. We got to sample the different flavors of the rum cake, and they were all very good. I will say that the rum cake factory was a smaller building, and it was very crowded because there were a lot of tourists there. So do expect it to be crowded when you go there. But they do get everybody through there very quickly. They kind of keep you heading in the right direction and make sure that everybody gets their samples. And we were very impressed with the rum cake and ended up buying a 6-pack of the rum cakes. And I believe it was around $35 for a 6-pack of them. And we were able to choose the flavors that we wanted. And then because we bought the 6-pack of the rum cake, we got to go next door to a bar and sample some rum. So we both sampled the rum. It was very good. It was strong. Of course, it wasn't mixed with anything. It was just the rum. But we did enjoy sampling it. And all the people in both the rum cake factory and the bar were very, very nice. So we did definitely enjoy that. And we enjoyed our rum cake when we got back home with it. The next place that we went was to Atlantis. And If you've ever been to Nassau, you're familiar with Atlantis. If you haven't, Atlantis is a hotel resort area. It's very impressive to look at the architecture of it. And here's a picture of Atlantis. And so we went there. We enjoyed seeing the various the inside architecture and the various things that they had inside. One of the items that we saw was this big crystal sculpture, and we took a picture in front of it. So here's a picture of us smiling in front of that sculpture. And then we went to the casino. So we didn't spend a whole lot of time at the casino, and we basically broke even. We lost some, and I won $100. So we ended up basically breaking even. So we enjoyed that. At least we didn't lose money. And the casino was large, and it wasn't crowded, and we definitely would recommend visiting there. The next place we went to a waterfront area. It wasn't really a beach. It was more of a waterfront where you could see the water and you could see the boats out on the water. And across the street from the water was an open air restaurant and a bar. And I got a pina colada at the bar, and we tried the conch fritters, which was something that we had been wanting to do because we never had conch before. So we tried that. It was very good. We got a large portion. There was enough for both of us and for our tour guide also to have some. So we definitely enjoyed discovering a new flavor, a new favorite that we'll try when we go back there. We definitely recommend that you try the conch fritters if you've never had them before. And then she was going to take us to the Queen's stairwell. But at this point, we were both a little tired. As I said, we both had some physical issues we were dealing with on this cruise. And so we elected not to go to the Queen's stairwell. I don't think either one of us would have been able to climb up the stairs. So we just chose not to go there. And we decided to kind of cut the tour short and go back to the boat. Now, this was not the tour guide's fault. She was very willing to take us around to other places, but we just chose to go ahead and end there. But as far as the tour as a whole, we did enjoy it a lot. Our tour guide was wonderful. She told us that her name was Sharon Stone. Now, I don't know if her name actually is Sharon Stone or not, but it made for a very amusing story. She kept telling us that she was famous because her name was Sharon Stone, and she had a great sense of humor. So if you are ever in Nassau, we definitely recommend that you go see Sharon Stone if you would like to have a private tour. She even gave us her phone number so that if we go back, we can get in touch with her again and go ahead and go on another tour, or if we would like to, or she can show us some different sites that we didn't see this time. So we definitely do recommend the private tour. So I really appreciate you sticking around and supporting my channel. And if you found this video to be interesting, I would really appreciate you hitting that thumbs up button, that like button. And I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. I'm working on my first 100 subscribers. As I'm a new channel, so I would really appreciate your support, and I'll be sharing more videos. I have 3 other cruises booked, so I will be sharing a lot more about cruising and the reviews and the different ships and all of that. So thank you again.